Hey warrior, we live in a world that constantly shouts at us to grind harder, to run faster, and to fight endlessly for everything we desire. Society tells us that only those willing to burn themselves out are worthy of achieving their dreams. But what if I told you the Stoics of the ancient world uncovered a truth that flips this idea upside down? What if the real secret to manifesting the life you want isn't hidden in restless effort, but in the deep stillness of letting go? Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome and ruler of the known world, once wrote in his private notes, "Confine yourself to the present." He realized that when we stop struggling against the current of life and instead flow with it, extraordinary things begin to unfold. The Stoics weren't idle or weak dreamers. They were warriors who won battles not with brute force, but with clarity, discipline, and wisdom. Picture water for a moment. It never exhausts itself by fighting the rocks in its way. It flows calmly around them, above them, and through them, until over time it reshapes the entire landscape. That is the power of relaxed intention, the art of holding your desires gently while trusting the natural rhythm of life to carry them to you. When you cling desperately to outcomes, when your grip is so tight your hands ache, you end up blocking the very blessings you are chasing. Stress creates resistance, and resistance suffocates abundance. The Stoics saw clearly that our desperation often becomes the greatest barrier between us and our goals. But here is where the beauty begins. When you relax into your desires, when you align yourself with the natural unfolding of events, you turn magnetic. Suddenly, doors you once overlooked appear wide open. Opportunities reveal themselves. The right people and resources are drawn into your orbit not through struggle, but through a calm confidence that radiates readiness. This is not about laziness, nor is it surrendering your dreams. It is about understanding the difference between effortless action and exhausting struggle. It's the wisdom of planting seeds with intention, then trusting the soil, the seasons, and the sun to bring the harvest. The Stoics had a word for this amor fati, the love of faith, deep acceptance that everything unfolds as it is meant to. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 timeless Stoic principles that will completely transform how you approach manifestation. These are not abstract ideas. They are practical truths, tested for centuries by real human experience. Each one will teach you how to dissolve the tension that blocks your blessings, and step fully into the flow where miracles are natural. But before we dive into these powerful lessons, I want you to do one thing. Hit that like button right now. Shows me you're ready for transformation. And in the comments, anchor this truth into your heart. When I relax, life flows to me. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this wisdom. And make sure to subscribe, because this journey is only just beginning. And don't skip a single moment, because what follows can reshape your entire reality. The art of detached desire, number 1. The art of detached desire. Here's the paradox that frustrates most people. The harder you cling to what you want, the further it seems to slip away. But the Stoics uncovered something extraordinary about desires, something even modern psychology is only starting to validate. Epictetus, who rose from slavery to become one of history's greatest thinkers, taught that true wealth lies not in owning many possessions, but in having few wants. This doesn't mean abandoning your dreams. It means realizing the crucial difference between wanting something and needing it. When you need, you create desperation. When you want, while being at peace without it, you create attraction. Think of the people in your life who effortlessly draw opportunities to themselves. They're not the ones endlessly posting desperate affirmations or obsessing over what they lack. They're the ones who carry their desires lightly like a butterfly resting in the palm of their hand. They hope for beautiful outcomes, but they don't anchor their worth to whether those outcomes appear. This is what the Stoics described as preferred indifference. Of course, you prefer success, love, and abundance, but your inner calm does not depend on them. Your happiness is not hostage to external circumstances, and this inner freedom creates a powerful energy that naturally attracts people, chances, and abundance, because nothing is more magnetic than someone who is not needy. By practicing detached desire, you stop radiating desperation that pushes things away. Instead, you begin to act from a foundation of confidence and sufficiency. And confident action almost always leads to better outcomes. The magic begins the moment you can say, "I would love for this to happen, and I'm working toward it, but I am completely at peace if it doesn't unfold exactly as I imagine." That isn't giving up, that is growing up. It's knowing that the universe often holds something greater than what your limited vision can see. Try it right now. Hold your biggest desire in your mind. Breathe deeply and say, "This or something even better." Feel the weight lift as possibilities open around you. If this resonates, write in the comments, "I desire with peace." Not desperation, present moment magnetism. Number 2. Present moment magnetism. Most of us live anywhere except the one place where our power actually exists, right here, right now. Our thoughts race into futures that don't exist, or replay past scenes we can never rewrite. The Stoics, however, understood a profound truth. All creation, all manifestation, happens only in the present. If you aren't here, you miss the magic. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." This isn't just poetic, it's practical. When your awareness rests fully in the now, you begin to notice openings your distracted mind would never see. You hear the passing remark that sparks your next big opportunity. You follow an inner nudge that leads you to meet exactly the right person at exactly the right time. And presence isn't only awareness, it's energy. When you are grounded in the present moment, you radiate at your highest vibration. You're no longer weighed down by regrets of the past or fears of the future. You stand in pure potential. And that kind of energy draws people and circumstances toward you effortlessly. Think about the most magnetic people you know. They're not the ones lost in their phones, distracted, or endlessly talking about someday. They're the ones who look you in the eye, who listen deeply, who carry a calm that makes you feel like you are the only person in the room. That's presence, and it's magnetic. The beautiful paradox is this: the moment you stop obsessing over the future, you actually create a better one. The instant you stop trying to escape this present moment, it transforms into the launching pad for everything you've ever dreamed of. Tomorrow doesn't hold opportunities, today does. Right now, in the awareness you bring to this breath, this step, this moment. Your breath is your anchor to presence. Whenever you catch your mind drifting into endless what-ifs or circling the loop of if-onlys, gently bring yourself back. Notice your breathing. Feel your feet grounded on the earth. Observe 3 things around you that you can see, hear, or feel. This isn't some abstract meditation. Practice its manifestation in motion. Because the present moment is not only where you exist, it's where you create. Stop sitting in the waiting room of your life, endlessly anticipating what's next. Step into the living reality where miracles are happening right here, right now. Wisdom of accepted resistance, number 3. The wisdom of accepted resistance. Life will hand you obstacles. That's not a possibility, it's an inevitability. But here's the crucial difference between those who bring their visions to life and those who remain stuck. It's not the resistance itself, but how you choose to relate to it. Marcus Aurelius faced epidemics, betrayal, and wars. Yet he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is more than poetic, it's the formula for turning setbacks into stepping stones. The moment you stop fighting reality and instead begin to work with it, resistance becomes your most loyal teacher. Most people see an obstacle and immediately assume the universe is against them. They grow bitter, discouraged, and often abandon the path altogether. But what if every challenge is actually preparation? What if the friction is there to make you sharper, wiser, stronger, so you can handle the very thing you've been asking for? Think of the oyster and the pearl. The irritation doesn't destroy the oyster, it produces something rare and luminous. Your difficulties are not punishments. They are invitations to evolve into someone capable of carrying the weight of greater blessings. When you accept resistance instead of resenting it, you stop burning energy on denial and start channeling that energy into navigation. You move like water, again flexible, patient, unbreakable. This doesn't mean passivity. It means taking inspired action rather than frantic action. It means responding with awareness rather than reacting from fear. It means searching for the lesson within every roadblock and the opportunity hidden inside every delay. So the next time life doesn't go according to your plan, pause. Ask yourself, how could this be serving my highest good? What is this shaping in me? How is this moment strengthening me for what's ahead? Remember, sometimes the delay is actually protection. Sometimes the detour leads to a destination far better than the one you had mapped out. Sometimes the rejection is simply clearing space for a more powerful yes. Trust that the universe sees a larger design you cannot yet glimpse, and it's always working in your favor. If you're ready to grow through the fire instead of shrinking from it, declare this truth: I grow stronger through resistance, not weaker. The power of inner authority. Number 4. The power of inner authority. Here's a liberating truth. Most of your struggles with manifestation come from handing your power away. Every time you tether your inner state to something outside of you, you weaken your own ability to create. The Stoics taught that real power is reclaimed the moment you stop outsourcing your peace to external circumstances. Epictetus said, No one can harm you without your consent. This isn't only about emotional resilience, it's about understanding sovereignty over your inner kingdom. Each time you say, I won't feel successful until, I won't be happy unless, you're giving your crown away to conditions beyond your control. And living this way is exhausting. Your mood rises and falls with someone else's approval. Your confidence is shackled to the digits in your bank account. Your sense of worth fluctuates with likes, comments, and fleeting attention. You've turned yourself into a puppet while the strings are pulled by circumstances. But when you reclaim your inner authority, everything changes. You begin to see that your peace, joy, and sense of abundance are not negotiable. They're choices you make, independent of outside noise. This doesn't mean you stop caring about outcomes. It means outcomes no longer dictate the weather of your inner world. And from this stance, you become incredibly magnetic. When you no longer operate from neediness, you radiate security. When your joy doesn't depend on validation, you move authentically. When your sense of worth is rooted within, you dare to take bold risks. And others can feel it. Opportunities gravitate toward those who don't chase them desperately. Success finds its way to those who are whole without it. Try this practice before you scroll social media, before you check your balance, before you seek someone's approval. Pause. Ask yourself, how do I choose to feel right now, regardless of what's happening outside me? Then embody that choice. The outer world is only a mirror of your inner state. Change within, and the reflection must follow. Feel that authority awaken inside you and affirm it. I am the author of my own experience. The Art of Strategic Non-Action, number 5. The Art of Strategic Non-Action. This might sound counterintuitive, but there are times when the wisest move you can make is no move at all. The Stoics recognized a truth that our hyperactive culture has nearly forgotten. There is a vast difference between motion and progress, between frantic busyness and meaningful effectiveness, between forced effort and aligned action. Lao Tzu, whose philosophy shaped Stoic thought, wrote, "The sage does not attempt anything very big and thus achieves greatness. Sometimes the most powerful breakthroughs come not from piling on more, but from having the courage to do less." We live in a world that idolizes constant activity, but much of what we call taking action is merely fear disguised as productivity. We stay busy to avoid stillness, because stillness makes us face ourselves. We push endlessly because we're terrified that if we stop, everything will crumble. But here's the irony: this frantic energy you pour into constant action often drives away the very things you're longing to attract. That's why the Stoics spoke of strategic non-action. It doesn't mean laziness, nor does it mean abandoning your dreams. It means having the wisdom to step back once you've played your part and trusting life to handle the rest. It's knowing the difference between planting seeds and obsessively digging them up, between doing what's yours to do and letting the soil work its unseen magic. It's understanding that certain processes simply cannot be rushed, no matter how fiercely you want them. Think about a master chess player. They don't move just to move. They study the board, wait for the right moment, and allow their opponent's impatience to become their advantage. Their restraint becomes their greatest strength. Their patience their sharpest strategy. When you embrace the art of non-action, you stop wasting yourself on meaningless busy work and begin to trust the intuitive sense of when to move forward and when to be still. You discover that sometimes the universe requires empty space in order to move in your favor, and your task is to step aside and allow that space. This week, practice saying, "I don't know when clarity hasn't yet arrived, and I'll wait when waiting feels right." Notice how this openness creates room for solutions and opportunities that your frantic effort was blocking. The universe has a way of rewarding the soul that knows how to be still long enough to receive its gifts. Gratitude as a manifesting force. Number 6. Gratitude as a manifesting force. To most people, gratitude sounds like simple politeness or a vague practice of positivity. But the Stoics knew something much deeper. Gratitude is one of the most potent creative powers in existence. When you sincerely appreciate what is already present, you create a magnetic field that draws even more goodness into your life. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you wake in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They act this way because they cannot tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and I know that the wrongdoer has a nature akin to my own, even in acknowledging human flaws." Marcus found a reason for gratitude, for understanding, for shared humanity. That's the Stoic way. When you practice real gratitude, you shift your inner state from scarcity to sufficiency, from lack to fullness. Instead of obsessing over what's absent, you open your eyes to what's already here. Instead of radiating emptiness, you radiate wholeness, and that energy draws more abundance toward you. This isn't fake. Positivity isn't pretending everything is perfect. It's choosing to honor what is working, even while recognizing what still needs change. It's appreciating your trials because they've made you resilient. It's valuing your setbacks because they've redirected you to something greater. It's finding beauty in your daily struggles because they've shaped wisdom within you. When you wake with gratitude, you raise your vibration and set the tone for a day of higher experiences. When you fall asleep with gratitude, you program your subconscious to search for more things to cherish. Gratitude forms an upward spiral. Gratitude creates abundance, which then multiplies your gratitude. But the power of gratitude lies not only in feeling it, but in expressing it. Tell the people around you how much they mean. Write notes for small acts of kindness. Appreciate your body for carrying you. Thank your breath for sustaining you. Acknowledge your heart for continuing its rhythm. Gratitude transforms whatever you already have into enough. And when the universe sees that you honor what you've been given, it knows you are ready to be entrusted with more. The strength of emotional sovereignty. Number 7. The strength of emotional sovereignty. Here is a truth powerful enough to revolutionize your entire existence. Your emotions are not happening to you. They are being generated by you. Yet most people live as if their emotional state were controlled by strangers, circumstances, or random events. Seneca taught, "Every new thing excites the mind, but a mind that seeks the truth turns from the new and unknown to the eternal and divine." He understood that emotions are choices, not inevitable reactions. Realizing this means reclaiming the throne of your inner kingdom. Two people can experience the same setback, the same rejection, the same disappointment. One collapses under the weight of it. The other feels it fully, extracts its lesson, and transforms the energy into momentum. The difference lies not in what happened, but in their sovereignty over their inner world. Emotional sovereignty is not about suppression, is not pretending negative emotions don't exist. It is about allowing yourself to feel deeply without surrendering control of your life to those feelings. Anger may rise, but you choose not to let it destroy. Sadness may arrive, but you choose not to drown. Fear may whisper, but you choose not to freeze. This mastery turns emotions into creative fuel instead of chains. Because emotions are energy and the state you hold is the state you project into the world. When you choose peace in chaos, you magnetize peace. When you discover joy despite circumstances, you call forth more joyful experiences. The practice is clear, though not always easy. When a strong emotion comes, pause and ask, what message is this carrying? What can I learn from it? How can I use its energy constructively? Then choose consciously how long you'll dwell in it and what you'll do with the energy. Emotions are meant to be messengers, not masters. They are signals, not dictators. Once you master your emotional world, you master your creative power. Anchor it now by declaring, my emotions exist, but they do not control me. The philosophy of enough. Number 8. The philosophy of enough. In a world constantly shouting that you must have more to finally be happy, the Stoics revealed a revolutionary truth. Enough is not about quantity, but about relationship. The feeling of enough has nothing to do with how much you own and everything to do with how you value what is already in your hands. To embody this principle is to unlock a contentment deeper than anything external can offer. Seneca, who, despite being one of Rome's wealthiest men, knew the emptiness of endless acquisition, wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." This wisdom came not from someone who lacked material wealth, but from someone who had it all and realized it could never fill the soul. The philosophy of enough is not about resignation or lowering your ambitions. It's about recognizing that your sense of abundance and joy are not held hostage by endless accumulation, approval, or recognition. It means realizing that the very feeling you believe will only arrive after you've reached your goals is not something reserved for the future. It already lives within this present moment, available to you through what you already possess. This is the paradox that changes everything. The instant you genuinely embrace the sense that you already have enough, you stop acting out of desperation and begin to operate from a state of true abundance. And when you carry the vibration of abundance, you inevitably attract experiences that mirror that energy. The moment you stop grasping, clinging, and chasing, life begins to deliver more to you effortlessly. Think for a moment about the most magnetic people in your life, not those who are physically attractive, but those whose very presence feels alive and captivating. They are not the ones who dwell on what they lack, or who spend their days obsessing over what they still want. They are the ones who radiate genuine contentment, people who can stand fully in their present lives with a sense of gratitude, while still remaining open, excited, and curious about growth and new opportunities. Their attraction comes not from striving, but from their quiet wholeness. This kind of contentment is not to be confused with complacency. It is not stagnation or the refusal to improve. It is confidence. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that you are already whole, already worthy, already valuable, already enough independent of what you might acquire or achieve. From this grounded place, your dreams stop being desperate attempts to fill a void and instead become joyful acts of creation. You pursue from love rather than fear, from excitement rather than scarcity. Make this practical tonight. Before you go to sleep, pause and take a mental inventory of everything you already have to be grateful for: your body, your health, your relationships, your opportunities, your past experiences, and the wisdom you've gained along the way. Don't just list them, feel them. Really feel the richness of what's already present in your life. Let this energy saturate your being, because this is the exact frequency that turns ordinary existence into miracles. So let's anchor this truth together. If you are ready to stop chasing and begin receiving, flood the comments with this affirmation: I am enough, and I attract from that place. The courage of authenticity. Number 9. The courage of authentic expression. One of the greatest obstacles to manifesting the life you want is living one that isn't truly your own. Every time you mold yourself into who others expect you to be, every time you silence your real thoughts and feelings, every time you force yourself into roles that don't belong to your soul, you build walls of resistance inside yourself that block the very flow of life and desire from reaching you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of this truth. How much peace is gained by avoiding the constant preoccupation with what others say or do. The courage to stand authentically as yourself, regardless of others' opinions, is not only an act of personal liberation, is a tremendous source of manifestation power. Because when you are not being authentic, you are, in essence, lying to the universe about who you are and what you want. And how can life deliver what is truly meant for you if you refuse to reveal your true self? How can the right people and opportunities find you if you are hidden behind a carefully constructed mask? Authenticity does not mean being harsh, unkind, or inconsiderate. It means finding the courage to speak your truth with compassion. It means daring to pursue what genuinely excites your heart rather than what you think should excite you. It means making decisions rooted in your deepest values rather than in the expectations of others. The beauty of authenticity is that it has its own magnetic field. It draws toward you what belongs to you and pushes away what does not. When you stop bending yourself to please everyone, you begin to attract people who appreciate the real you. When you let go of chasing goals that were never truly yours, you open the door to experiences that actually nourish and fulfill your soul. Yes, it takes courage, because choosing authenticity may mean some people won't understand you. Certain opportunities may fall away. Paths you once thought you wanted may no longer align with who you are becoming. But this is not loss, it is freedom. Your authentic self is the most powerful version of you, because it is the only self capable of building a life that truly satisfies your spirit. Everything you are meant to have will find its way to the real you, not to the mask you put on to gain approval. Begin today. In one conversation, speak the truth of what you really feel. In one choice, follow what you genuinely desire, not what you think you're supposed to desire. Watch how even a small act of authenticity shifts your energy, opens new doors, and realigns you with your true path. Trust in divine timing. Number 10. Trust in divine timing. This final Stoic principle for manifestation may be the most profound of all. Learning to accept and trust that everything unfolds at the exact time it is meant to, not when your ego demands, not when your impatience insists, but when life itself deems the moment ripe. This is not passive waiting or blind hope. This is active faith in the deep intelligence and order of the universe. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." The Stoics believed in a purposeful, rational universe where events are woven together with meaning, even when our limited perspective cannot yet see it. And yet, impatience often becomes our greatest enemy. When you demand that life bend to your personal timeline, you create resistance. You block possibilities because you are too fixated on one outcome. You turn away good things simply because they do not appear in the exact form you expected. Trusting divine timing means surrendering that struggle. It means remembering that delays are not denials. They are often forms of protection or preparation. Sometimes you must first grow into the person capable of holding what you are asking for. Sometimes the world itself must shift and rearrange so that the right doors can open. Think about the greatest blessings of your life. How many of them unfolded exactly when you expected? Very few. More often, they came suddenly, unexpectedly, and beautifully through paths you never could have planned. This doesn't mean you abandon your goals or stop acting. It means you hold your goals lightly, while trusting that life's plan is larger, wiser, and far more elegant than the plan you currently see. It means you commit fully to your efforts, but release your grip on the outcome. When you practice this trust, you stop exhausting yourself with the impossible task of controlling everything. You stop losing today's beauty because of your anxious grip on tomorrow. You begin to notice the miracles already unfolding around you in the present moment. You recognize that the universe is not against you, it is always conspiring in your favor, even if it doesn't always feel that way. The Stoics didn't need vision boards or manifestation journals to understand this truth. They knew that true manifestation was never about forcing the world to give you what you want. It was about becoming the person who is ready, willing, and able to receive what is already meant for you. When you align yourself with these 10 principles: detached desire, present awareness, acceptance of resistance, inner authority, strategic non-action, gratitude, emotional sovereignty, the philosophy of enough, authentic expression, and divine timing, you stop fighting the current of life and begin flowing with it. This does not mean you abandon your dreams or lower your standards. It means you elevate your consciousness to a state where miracles become normal, where synchronizers are frequent, and where what you need finds its way to you without your desperate chase. The Stoics understood that peace is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of wisdom. And wisdom, lived consistently, creates the conditions for every blessing to unfold in its proper season. Your manifestations are already on their way. Your only task is to prepare, to trust, and to remain open to receive. So seal this truth right now. Comment these words: I relax, I trust, and I receive. Share this message with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom. Until we meet again, stay stoic, stay strong, and stay open to miracles.